Hey everybody, hope you're doing good today. Just wanted to say thank you. We've crossed 15,500 subscribers. That's great. I really didn't expect this kind of growth with the channel, but I love the fact that I have people that like the information that I'm putting out there. And I want to thank all my newest members. Remember, you can join the channel for just 99 cents a month. It's a great way to support us, and it's also affordable. Now, speaking of new members, I want to send a quick shout out to two of my newest members, which is Brad S. and Uncle Chris. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and everybody else that has become a member over the last month. It really means a lot to me. Now, what we're going to do today is shed some light on three distributions I think are great distributions. They're based on Manjaro, but what they do is they take the good things about Manjaro and utilize those, and the things that aren't so good about Manjaro, they kind of push to the side and get out of your way. So they got a pretty good base, and all three of them are kind of different use cases. One is for a lighter PC environment, maybe put it on older hardware, or maybe put it on newer hardware and make it go fast. And the other two are really impressive as well. So without any further ado, let's get to the video. So what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to take a look at a distro that I've had recommended many times in my comments. It's Big Linux. Now, if you zip on over to their website, which is biglinux.com.br, you'll come to this page right here. Now, Firefox automatically translated it for me, but I do know on a couple other browsers, if you don't have a translation add-on on your browser, it could be difficult to read. This one did it automatically, so if you're using Firefox, you shouldn't have a problem. I'm actually using FireDragon. But you come over to Big Linux's website, and it just basically states that this distribution is derived from Manjaro repositories. Now, this has went through several different facelifts over the last 2 or 3 years. It was based on different distributions, but now it is based on Manjaro. And when you go to download it, they actually give you 3 different options. You've got Big Linux that's got kernel 5.10. So if you've got some older hardware or you're trying to do some things in a more stable environment, that might be for you. They're recommended, which is kernel 5.15. And then they've got kernel 5.19. What I'm going to be taking a look at today is kernel 5.19. And we're going to go ahead and come down here. You can download it or get it through torrent. And then it breaks down your main programs: KDE Plasma, LibreOffice, GIMP, Firefox, and Brave. And then you've got some Ventoy download, Balena Etcher download, or UNetbooten download. They give you links to those right there. So if you want to burn it to a USB and boot into it, you can. And then down here on settings, it shows you the minimum requirement: 64-bit Intel or AMD, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 8 gigabytes of storage space, and then live USB mode. How to choose the Big Linux version you want to use, and then see how to save Big Linux on your USB stick using Ventoy. And then if you do go up top, you've got download support, photos, videos, news, others, contribute, and contact. That pretty much covers their website. I'll be sure to link that in the description below. So if you like what you see, you can go over, download it, and give it a try for yourself. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close out of this, and we're going to open it up in boxes. Now, the reason I'm showing it actually loading up instead of me just plugging on over to the desktop is I want to show you some interesting and neat things that are coming with Big Linux that you don't get in other distributions, or you do get in some distributions, but not that many. You kind of get a choice of what layout you want, and it's got a good splash screen, it's got a good boot screen, and I'm only giving it 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it may take just a little bit to load up. It is what it is. Now, I do want to say that if you're using Manjaro, or you're wanting to get away from a different distribution or something like that and get into something a little bit more interesting with maybe a little bit more eye candy, that doesn't mean a lot to some people, but it does to others. Big Linux is actually a good looking distribution. Now, one thing I do not like, and you'll see here in a second, is that you do get a certain setup that still includes the Latte dock. Now, with so many questions around the Latte dock right now, is it going to stay up? Is somebody else going to pick up the development of it? That right there kind of seems iffy to me. Maybe switch it over to Cairo, but that's just me. You might disagree with me. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. So once it finally boots up, you actually got to pick your language. I'm going to go ahead and pick English United States. And then it's going to let you choose a theme. Do you want to go with the Breeze, Breeze Dark, Fluent, Solid Dark, or Fluent Solid. And then you've got Fluent, Fluent Dark, Materia, and Materia Dark. I'm going to go ahead and just stick with Breeze Dark. And then right over here, you get to actually pick the way your desktop's laid out. You've got the classic look, your classic KDE. Then you've got kind of a K-Unity, which is a take on the Unity from Ubuntu years ago. Then you've got a new layout. You've got the next G. And we're going to scroll down. You've got a modern. And then you've got Desk X. Now you can change these once you're on desktop. In virtual machine, they're kind of laggy. I'll show you that anyway. But just know that if you put it on a USB or you're running it on bare metal, it'll run a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and just go with Next G. And we will go ahead and let that boot up and show us what we're getting. I like the splash screen. I like the background. I like the way they integrate the big logo into the center of the background. I like the overall look of this distribution. But what we are going to need to do is we're going to need to zip on over here and we're going to need to adjust the actual resolution of the distro so we can actually see what's going on. So I'm going to go down here and go ahead and click on Big and look for settings. And we will go ahead and go to see if that's Manjaro Setting Manager, if that'll let us take care of what we need to. There's hardware, time and date. Let's close. I just need regular old settings. So where's just regular old settings? Settings. System settings. There it was. Why didn't you guys point that out to me? I guess I need to put my glasses on so I can see what's going on. Let's go ahead and go to display. And there's the display configuration. Let's go ahead and click that open. And let's go ahead and change that to 1080. Let's go ahead and apply that. And there it is right there. Let's go ahead and keep that. Zip that over there and close out of that. As you can see right here, you kind of get a nice little dock down here. And like I said, I've only got 2 gigabytes of RAM issued to this in GNOME boxes, so it might be a little jerky and jumpy, but if you put it on a USB or you're running on bare hardware, it's going to be a lot faster. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go ahead and open up Dolphin. And yes, you get the global menu up here, and then you've got Dolphin right here. And like I said, it's got the wobbly windows with only 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's a little jerky. Let's go ahead and look at something right now. Let's see what we're running system-wide. Let's see, where's it at? KSysGuard. Let's go ahead and see what kind of resources we're using on this one. System load. We're running about 0.75 gigabytes. That's not too bad. With Dolphin open, and we're running, obviously, this is Latte. Let's go up here and right-click. Yeah, see, that's the Latte dock. So you do have the Latte dock running in the background, and you're only using about 0.75 gigabytes of 2 gigabytes that I have issued to the machine. Now, what I'm going to say here is, with Latte dock running, compared to Garuda, because I had to reinstall Garuda because you all are familiar with the problems that I had with Nobara, but I reinstalled Garuda, and Garuda, when it had Latte dock running in the background, was at about 1.2, 1.3 gigabytes. And when I got rid of Latte, it actually dropped down to 0.75. So right here with Latte dock running in the background, you've got 0.75. So that's not too bad right there on resource usage. And we're only using about 1% of the CPU. Now the wobbly windows will probably make that spike up a little bit, but not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that and close out of that. And we'll kind of take a look around here. You can just see you've got the control center over here. This is what I want to point out to you, because you can go to the control center, and when it pops up, you've got a lot of different things you can do over here. You've got themes, desktop, and settings, restore the program configuration, system and hardware information. So if you wanted to change your theme, you could come right over here and go to open, and it's going to give you the same options you got at boot. Now I'm going to leave the theme where it is. You can go to desktop. That's the classic KDE look, and then you've got the K-Unity. Then you've got the Next G. Then you've got the new. I'm going to try modern and see what happens here. And that popped up. I actually kind of like that better than the dock. I think I'll leave that right there because I'm not a big fan of the global menu. Scratch that. I do like the global menu when there's a distribution that already has a top panel, but I'm not a big fan of the top panel. So if I can get away from that, I generally do. So I think I will leave this right here. But you can see over here, you can change your desktops. You've got 6 different choices there. You've got different themes you can change it to. And you could also probably install some other themes. So that's pretty neat. I like that. It comes out of the box with that, so that's pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and close out of that. And then you've got your network and internet, connect to the internet, connect to internet using Android, integration with Google Drive and OwnCloud, customize, application style. So this is kind of a system settings, but it's been barred down into their control center with their choices and things that you can change there. Now, it's got a little moon down here. If you click on that, okay, so you can switch. I like that. You can switch it from a light to dark with one click. Okay, let's go over here. You've got region and language, multimedia, audio mixer, equalizer, sound and microphone, Helvum, accounts, privacy. Let's go look at about. That's what I wanted to look about. Let's see. Let's go to Info Center. Let's pull that up. And what are we looking at right here? You've got KDE Plasma 5.2, Frameworks 5.97, Qt version 5.15, and then you've got kernel version 5.19.7 Manjaro. So if you're somebody that likes Manjaro, but you're wanting to change a pace, this is definitely the distribution for you. And if you're somebody that is wanting to go to an Arch-based system with a little bit more control over looks and things that you can do with it, you might want to choose this one over Manjaro. Now, what I would worry about is if Big Linux suffers from some of the problems that you get with a Manjaro distribution when there's updates. Sometimes you have some issues there. I don't know if those carry over, but it would take a little bit of using. And this might go on my list, guys. I was considering going with OpenSUSE after my Nabara fiasco, and I might end up giving this one a shot. I don't know yet, but we will see. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And then you've got privacy, server, devices, system, development. You've got a nice little control panel here. I really do like that. Now, what I want to know is if they're piggybacking off of Manjaro, does that mean they have PayMac? So let's add and remove web apps, add and remove software. Let's go look at that first. So let's go ahead and open that up. And you're running basically PayMac. So what you want to do is go over here first. And I want to see if they have the AUR. Okay, they do have AUR. You can enable it. Okay, it's already enabled out of the box. Okay, guys, so AUR is enabled out of the box. And you also have Flatpak enabled out of the box. So if we go to General, can you go ahead and you can use mirrors from worldwide. You can actually refresh those mirrors. Okay, well, let me close out of that. So if we do a search, can we do a search for something like OBS Studio? There's OBS Studio. Let's go ahead and click on that, and it's right there. Now, that's one thing I do like about this is there have been many different Arch distributions that use PayMac that when I run them in a live environment, you can't actually look up software because it actually has to update and then install a bunch of other data and dependencies before you can even do searches for software. So I like that. Let's see, do they have GIMP? They do have GIMP. It's right there. You click on it and it pops right up. So you're going to be using PayMac and the AUR to install software. So that's definitely a plus. Let's go ahead and close out of that. Now let's go back over here, and it looked like it had add and remove web apps. No web app added. So if we added a web app, so what could we call it? So let's just say YouTube.com. Let's name it YouTube. Let's go ahead and detect name and icon. So it'll detect the name YouTube web app icon. It automatically gave it to you. And can we go ahead, YouTube TV mode? I don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and add it. The web app has been successfully added, so we can close out of that. Now, is this added to our regular menu, or is it just... Okay, so it's added right there. So if I click on that, and there is our YouTube app. Okay, so it's using Brave browser to open up our web app, YouTube app. We'll go ahead and maximize that. And like I said, there's going to be a little stutter there. I've only got 2 gigabytes of RAM issued to the machine. So you're going to have a little bit of that. I would really like to run this in a live mode. This might be the next distro I try to run as a daily driver. I'm going to be quite honest. And my question, let's go over here. Let's close out of that. Now, if I go over here and I put in YouTube, can we right click and pin that? Or let's open it back up. Okay, pop right back up. Now, can I right click and pin that to Task Manager and then close? So there's my YouTube web app. It's right there on my panel. So this is Big Linux Web Apps Manager. So if you're somebody that's used Linux Mint and you're used to their web app application that they have, this is something that's along those lines, and it's just bringing it over to an Arch distro that's based on Manjaro. So I kind of like that application. That's pretty impressive. So we'll close out of that. Let's go ahead and open this back up. And then you've got games, graphics. Okay. So my question, can you change edit Big Linux application launcher? Okay, that's just to change the logo or the icon, I'm sorry. Okay, so there's no changing your menu. I guess that would be different on different desktop themes that you picked. Configure your desktop and wallpaper. Let's see what kind of wallpapers we got involved here. Oh, they got some pretty wallpapers. Let's see, let's try the Antelope Canyon. I like that. That's neat. Guys, I'm pretty impressed. Big Linux, everybody that chimed in on my comments and told me to take a look at it, thank you, because it is definitely a decent looking distribution. Hey everybody. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Trom-JARO. It is a trade-free operating system and it's based on Manjaro Linux. Their catchphrase is designed for your brain, but you can install it on your computer. No more ads and trackers consuming you. No free trials. No bull crap. That's not what it says, but you can read it right there on the screen. Now, when you come to their site, which is Trom-JARO.com, I'll be sure to include that link in the description below. This is where you come. It's a beautiful web page. I like the interactive background here, and then you can scroll down, and one of the things I like about this distribution is that you can choose a layout. I know that Manjaro's had this for a while, and I know that there are other ones out there that do the same thing, like Makulu Linux does it. But this right here, Trom-JARO, can replicate most of the well-known OS layouts out there. And then you can scroll down here. This thing comes with a plethora of beautiful backgrounds, and I will show those to you once we get over to the desktop. And then down here, it's got custom-made icons for thousands of applications. And then you can also choose a theme. You got a theme switcher, and you can select between light and dark with 10 accent colors, or install any custom theme that will work with pretty much any Linux app out there. And then it's extremely customizable. You can change it and get really your personal look that you're looking for. Their desktop layout is very simple and intuitive. Everything is in your face, so you don't have to look around for settings, volumes, workspaces, apps. Multiple different layouts. You can change it up to really make it fit what you like in an operating system look. You've got your settings manager, you've got a software manager, automatic backups of your system, and then you have the ability to save sessions as well. And it also has a heads-up display. You can press Alt when the app is in focus, and if the app supports it, you can quickly search through the entire menu and go exactly where you want to. Some apps support it, some don't. You can kind of play around with that if it's something that you're interested in using. And then by default, Trom-JARO has set up basic gestures for your mouse, touchpads, touch screens, maximize, restore windows, minimize, tile a window, show virtual keyboard, show the apps launcher, move to another workspace. Then you've got master the files. An operating system should make sure that all files can be previewed or edited. No hassle, double click that file, that's all it needs. Images, videos, torrents, documents. And then down here, control the web. Since most humans spend most of their time online and the browser should be your friend, you can browse the web without trading. What they've done is they've customized Firefox to make it trade-free, to block most of the online trades, which is data collection, tracking, ads, geo-blocking. Everyone should be able to access any website or scientific papers without trading anything in return. On top of that, we think people should be allowed to download videos, audios, photos from any website or save websites for later or offline use. And some of the ways they utilize this inside the customized Firefox is Privacy Badger, Sci-Fi Hub X, uBlock Origin, Wayback Machine Sponsor Block, Video Download Helper, Lib Redirect, Bypass Paywalls Clean. And then master the basics. You should be able to record your voice, screen, take notes, share files, communicate with friends, and so forth from the get-go, which you can right out of the box. And then, of course, send files, communicate, stay private, control at distance, bring the web home, explore, follow, and then install anything. Since the ad remove software also contains trade-based applications, they have created their own software center that only contains trade-free apps. They review and test all these apps, and you can install them from their website directly if you choose to. Things like Easy Stroke, Publi, Wiki, GTG, Web App Manager, Chrome OS Theme, Write, and ungoogled Chromium. I have a lot of people all the time ask me, can I get ungoogled Chromium? They make it easy right here. And then down here, they've got, this is a trade-free project. Now, if you click on that, it opens up this page right here that says trade-free, the purest form of free. The ones who offer should not ask anything in return. The ones who receive should not have to give anything in return. And then it comes down here and it kind of shows you the team, who and what creates the problems that we have in society today. And what they're saying is we have many problems in the world today. Corruption, climate change, violence, wars, monopolies, mafias, lack of health care, inequality, addiction and substance abuse, slavery, poorly made products and services, homelessness, environmental destruction, poor education, lack of funds for scientific developments, refugee crisis, terrorism, famine, stress, crime, and so on. And no matter what part of the world you live in, I know I live in the United States. I have it a whole lot easier than a lot of other people out there that are watching this video right now. And I think if we came together as one and followed some of the things that they're talking about here, the world would be a much better place. And they ask some questions. Who or what create these problems? What pushes humans to behave like that? What part of the environment? Humans, environment, and trade. In short, trade creates most of the problems we see in the world today, and we want to make it obsolete by creating trade-free goods and services. This will remove the toxic environment that pushes people to create problems. And then you can come down here, and it's got what is trade, and you can click on this arrow, and it'll go through detailed things that you can read about each one of these subjects. I really think if you are interested in Trom-JARO, you definitely zip on over to the trade-free part of their site and read it. It's got a lot of great information in there, and it's better than some of the things we read on a daily basis. So I'm telling you, go over, check it out. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the desktop. And if you download Trom-JARO, throw it on a USB or open it up in a virtual machine, this is the screen you're met with. You're met immediately with Calamares installer open. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it because we're just going to run it in a virtual machine for this video. And as you can see right off the bat, you've got a panel up top. It's got desktop files, documents, music, pictures, video. And then over here, you've got your two different desktops. And then, of course, you've got your date and time, battery, sound, and things like that. And then over here, you've got Firefox files. You've got your system monitor. You've got add and remove software, settings manager, trade-free apps, and then video liat, documentaries and courses. And then if you come down here and click, it opens up your app launcher. As you can tell, this has got an XFCE base, and then they've kind of created the layouts around that. Now, the first thing I do want to show you is if you right click on here and go down to desktop settings, I want to go ahead and show you all the backgrounds this comes with. Once those populate, you scroll down through here, you've got plenty of backgrounds, and they're all beautiful. So I'm telling you, if you get a chance and you do download this and take a look at it, go ahead and check out these backgrounds because they're all beautiful. They all add a little bit of a touch to the desktop, and they definitely make it look really nice. I'm going to go back down to the rocket. I kind of like the rocket. And then, of course, you can adjust your menus here, and then, of course, icons over here. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Now, if you wanted to change the layout on this machine, what we're going to do is look at that first. Just click here, and you go down here to Layout Manager. And there it is right there, Trom-JARO Layout Switcher. Let's go ahead and open that up. And you've got 6 different ones out of the box. You've got a Windows-like launcher. You have the MX-like. You got the default, which is the one we're on right now. You got the Top X, GNOME-like, and then Mac OS-like. You just click on it, and what it does is it switches on over. You keep your panel up top, and then you've got your dock down here. I think I'll go ahead for the remainder of this video and just leave it set up like this. Now what we're going to do is come back down here, and you can go through all applications. You've got About Me. Let's go ahead and open that up. This is where you put all your information in. I like that mugshot. Put your name, home number, all that. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Back up to all accessibility, add and remove software. Let's go ahead and open that up. And if you're used to PayMac, that's basically what you have right here. What you do is you want to go over here, go to Preferences. Now, One thing you do have, you got AUR enabled out of the box, you got Flatpaks enabled out of the box, and if I remember correctly, they also have the chaotic AUR enabled out of the box. Don't quote me on that, but you do definitely have AUR and Flatpaks enabled out of the box. And then you can come over here and do a search and install anything that you might need there. So let's go ahead and close out of that. Let's come back over. Appearance, you got themes, icons, and fonts. Let's go ahead and open that up. And here's where you would change all your styles. You can change your icons right here, fonts, and then your settings. If you're familiar with XFCE, I'm probably going over things that you already know a ton about. Come back down. You can run app images. It's right here. All you got to do is download the app image and you'll be good to go there. Bluetooth adapters, apps, menus, and category manager, bulk rename, calculator, cleaner, color picker, default applications, disks, drivers, and kernels. Let's go ahead and open that up. You can come in here. There's the kernel right there. Let's double click on that. You're running 5.15.71-1, which is the LTS. Now, once you get this installed, I do believe you can actually update the kernel if you choose to, but you would have to actually install it on bare metal as opposed to just be running it in a virtual machine. So we'll close out of that. Come back up here. We've got accessories, application finder, password manager, virtual keyboard, development, education, graphics. You got color picker, screen recorder, internet. You do have web browser. Let's go ahead and open that up. This is their customized version of Firefox, and it has opened up. Let's go ahead and make that full screen. Trom-JARO, web apps, educational, tradefree.org, or you can enter an address right here. Let's see if we can do a standard search. We will look for eBuzz Central, and it brings up eBuzz Central. And we're using Trom.tf as our search engine. I guess that is a trade-free search engine. And it looks like it got everything from Quant. Some of this might have been cached. But I do like the look of that. That is definitely something I'm going to take a little bit more time and play around with. I do like that. I like the way it searches. And we could do files, images. So if we click the images, I bet they load slow because it is. Well, that ain't too bad. But yeah, definitely take a look at the web browser when you get a chance. And Trom.tf. And there's another one I'm going to go over with y'all. I found a new search engine. My next video will cover it actually. Privacy, security. You know what? I'm going to ask you in the comments below, and this will pretty much dictate if I'm going to do the next video on this. Would you pay $50 a year for a search engine that gave away none of your information and was encrypted from search to their servers and encrypted from their servers back to you in all the information they gave you? Would that be worth $50 a year to you? Let me know in the comments below. So let's go ahead and close out of this. And we've got File Manager. Let's go ahead and open that up. And we do have a package update available. I'm not going to do that right now because we are in a virtual machine, but I want to make this a little bigger. And what are we using here? We are using Thunar File Manager 4.16.11. Nice lightweight file manager, stays out of your way. I love the icon theme. I'm digging the overall look of this operating system, y'all. I really do like it. Let's go ahead and close out of that. And you've got your settings. You've got your trade-free apps right here. Let's go ahead and open that up. And they have 650 trade-free apps. We've got Ocean Audio, GNOME Web, Revelation, Rocks, Torrential. Now, Torrential must be a torrent downloader. You can load more. There's Olive, the video editing software, GIS Weather. So yes, it would definitely take a look at that. I'm very impressed with this distribution. I like the direction they're going with it. I like the overall feel of it. Let's go ahead and open up a terminal and see if they have HTOP installed. They don't. Let's check out top. And it shows right here, at rest with just the terminal open, we're using about 893 megs of RAM. I've only got 3 gigs issued to the whole machine. It's snappy, it's quick with 3 gigs. I would be interested to see what it does installed on bare metal. I bet it does real well. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite Linux distros that's out there. I get a lot of flack in my comments sometimes, well, not a lot, a little bit, from people that go, here you go again saying a great Linux distribution. Are all of them great? Do you never have negative things to say about any of the Linux distributions? And I really do. I've said some negative things about Linux distributions, but in general, there are quite a few out there that I do like, and this is one of them, Mabox Linux. Now, one of the reasons I like Mabox is because it is based on Manjaro, but for some reason, it doesn't have all the issues that Manjaro has. I don't know if it's because it's not being used in a KDE or a GNOME environment, or that the developers have actually taken the time to fix the bugs and take a lot of the issues out and then put OpenBox on top of it so we can just have fun with the distribution and get work done. This is the August ISO refresh. Now, we are at their website, maboxlinux.org. I'll be sure to put that in the description below. And if you come up here, it just says Mabox Linux is fast, lightweight. It's a functional desktop. It's rolling release. It's Manjaro based with OpenBox Window Manager. But like I did say, it doesn't seem to have all the bugs that Manjaro has. And if you come over here, you've got a few screenshots. Come down here, it lets you know it's lightweight and fast, fresh software, stable. You can donate to support them. And they've added something this time. Let's Meet Colorizer. We're going to go over that here real quick because I really like it, and I think you will too. And then you've got quick tiling, side panels and menus. And then you scroll down and it's just got some news and things like that. Then if you go up top, you've got home, news, user guide, about, forum, and donate. But Mabox Linux, they have a really good website, and the distribution itself is pretty impressive. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go ahead and close out of Fire Dragon. Let's go ahead and close. So we're going to come right over here to GNOME Boxes. Let's open it up because that's where I have Mabox running. And let's go full screen. Now, if you download it, throw it on a USB or open it in a virtual environment, this is the screen you're met with. Right over here, you've got a conky, let you know date, time, things like that. And then down here, let you know how much memory and disk usage you have going right now. At present, I've got 1.93 gigabytes of RAM issued to this virtual machine. We're using about 397 at rest. So you can keep track of everything over there. And then it lets you know you're using 22.08 Herboth. Uptime's been 6 minutes, 52 seconds. Kernel version's 5.15.60. You got the LTS kernel that you're using right there. And I do believe you can also download a 5.4 version. Don't let me fib to you. Let's go back over here. Let me open up my downloads, because I think I downloaded both of them actually. 5.15 and then 5.4. You can see it right there in the description. It says Linux 5.4, Linux 5.15. So you can actually get two LTS versions of it. So if you download 5.15 and it doesn't work out for you, you can also try 5.4. I like that. They give you the older long-term kernels to choose from. Now, if you come down to the bottom, Mabox has what I call a nice little cheat sheet down here. Got a lot of keyboard commands, and some of them might be what you're used to and some of them might not. But I like the fact that they do put them down here so you have quick access to them. Everything from terminal all the way down to go to desktop, super key plus that, and then you've got Windows where you can Alt F4 to close, and then, you know, iconify, whatever you want to do down here. You've got a little cheat sheet that you can use. And then menus and side panels, what you can do inside the menus and side panels. Now, what it means by menus and side panels, let's go up here first. Up top, you're going to have a split area, or you've got a panel up here that's got transparency. You've got some applications over here, and then you've got a little area over here that's got your internet, camera, date and time, and of course power. Now, if you see this little arrow right here, you just click on it and it pops this up. Okay, you've got a lot of different things right here. Right off the bat, you've got settings, you've got Mabox Control Center. So let's go ahead and open it up and check that out. And when you open this up, it gives you a lot of different options and changes and things that you can do with the system. Just like system and hardware settings, you've got locale settings, language packages, kernel, user accounts, time and date, mouse and keyboard, hardware config. Then you've got ARander, LXRander, and then NeoFetch and BTOP. Now, it doesn't have HTOP, it's got BTOP, and if you click on BTOP, let's open that up. Kind of gives you a breakdown here of all of your CPU threads. And then over here, it'll break down your RAM, total RAM, used RAM, available, cached, and free. But I still like HTOP, but I like the way this breaks things down. So I may play around with it and use it on a daily basis and just see, compared to HTOP, if I like it or not. I do like the fact that these don't jump around as much, and I can get a better view of what's being used inside the terminal without all these changing position every 2.3 seconds, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. And then you've got software, install popular applications. If you click on that, you'll have a window pop up that gives you the option to install whatever browsers you might want, or email, or ebook editors, or whatever. You can come down through here and just basically pick all the applications that you want to install. You can come over here, click Blender, click GIMP, click Inkscape, Krita, and then in one fell swoop you can update the system and install all of these applications. That is definitely something I like that's in Mabox Linux. So let's go ahead and close out of that. And then you've got preferred applications, you've got add and remove software, and you've got software update. Now if you click on add and remove software, it's PayMac. If you're familiar with Manjaro or just using some Arch distributions that come with PayMac in general, you can pretty much add whatever you need to here. So let's go over here. First thing you want to do is go to preferences, go to third party, and go ahead and enable AUR support, which is your Arch user repository. Or if you're somebody that uses something like Fedora, it would be equivalent to RPM Fusion. And then we want to check updates, go to general, and we can go ahead and close out of that. And then you can go over here and do searches and install your software. And then you've got software update. You've got auto start. You can select items to put into auto start or remove them. Look and feel. This is something that there's been a little bit of talk about what they've done in this release of Mabox Linux. They have something called Colorizer, which I think is pretty impressive. I'm going to go ahead and open it up right now and kind of show you how it works. Let's go ahead and double click that. If you look over here, you kind of got a dark theme to your Conky, you got a dark theme to your Colorizer window. So I'm going to close it real quick and I'm going to show you what we're doing here. If you notice these themes for the Conky and for the Colorizer window, let's go ahead and close that. Now I want to change the wallpaper, but I'm not going to use it from right here. I want to pull it up over here because I want to be able to get access to it really quick and close it really quick. So if you look in the bottom left corner, I can scroll through different wallpapers down here. Okay, you can pick a wallpaper. I'm going to go with something like that. Let's go ahead and pick that. Then I'm going to escape. Now when I open up the Colorizer, you'll see that the windows have changed their theme to match the wallpaper that's in the background. Now I know people are going to say this isn't a big deal, but you can actually go up here and kind of change and play with this a little bit. Like if you go to regenerate, if you want to reverse and have light themes on your Conky and then a dark theme on this, you can just go up here, click reverse, and it gives you a light theme on that, a darker theme on this. Or you can go back to the way it was configured, and then that changes. And then you can come over here and come down menus and panels. Do you want no light background? Do you want with dark background? You can kind of go with dark, and then we can come back over here. Then we can go menu panels, and you can change that up if you want to. So it's really just a fun way that if you really want to customize your Mabox install, you can have quite a bit of fun doing that. So if you do give Mabox a try and you go download it, please zip on over and check Colorizer out. I'm going to tell you right now, last night I played around with this a little bit and I got lost changing colors and customizing for about an hour and a half. So I think you'll definitely enjoy it. So let's go ahead and pull this back up so we can see what's going on. Then you've got tint to panel, you got Conky, you got menu panels, compositor, themes, and help. Now, a lot of people I know, they're kind of scared to leap off into OpenBox because they think it takes a lot of time to get set up. Honestly, I like the way OpenBox is set up out of the box. I might want to tweak some colors here and there, but other than that, it's just easy for me to use. So we're going to come down here. You've got system and hardware. If you look right here, that's a lot of the settings we just had in our previous Mabox Control Center. Oh, it closed on me. Then you've got look and feel, system update, PayMac, renew keyrings, Mabox user guide, Mabox forum, keyboard shortcuts, screenshot tool. Pretty easy, you just lift that up. Pick what you want to take a screenshot of, full screen, active, or select your area. So if you select your area, just select it, boom, it takes your screenshot, you're good to go. Come down here, you got configure, log out, suspend, hibernate, lock, shutdown, configure options. And then if you just right click on the desktop, you've got install Mabox, terminal, and remove software, www browser, which is just Firefox, Mabox config. And then you've got all your accessories, clip it, file manager. And you do have a lot of applications out of the box, but not what I would call bloat. In development, you've got Genie, graphics, color picker, flame shot, GPic, image magic, multimedia, you got Audacious, MPV video player, internet. Like I said, you got Firefox, advanced network config, settings. We've already looked at the settings. System, add, remove software, BTOP, Mabox Linux control center, key binding, screenshot, lock screen, exit. And then you come back over here, and what you have pinned up top here is your main menu, and then your show desktop, then your file manager. Let's go ahead and open that up. It's a nice simple file manager, stays out of your way so you can get work done. Let's go ahead and move this over here, and let's see what version this is. PC Man File Manager, and this is version 1.3.2. You got your usual suspects over here. You got your home folders right here. So let's go ahead and close out of that. Terminal emulator. Let's see if they do have HTOP, and they don't. So let's go BTOP. We've already looked at BTOP. Now I do know this. If we close that, you should have top. So if you don't like using BTOP, you can always use top. So there's your option there. Now right here, if we want to compare some numbers, we're using 461 megabytes of the 2 gigs I have issued, and that matches exactly with what we got going on with our Conky over here. So let's go ahead and close out of that. And then of course install Mabox. And let's click on the other arrow. You've got your main directory. This is your access to your file manager right here on your desktop. You got your home directory, you got downloads, docs, music, pictures, videos. Then you got your CMD palette, menu side panel. You can adjust these any way you want. Look at all these settings. Man, you could really get in here and have fun and really customize this desktop environment to work the way you want it to. Then you've got your wallpapers. You can do random wallpapers. You can generate wallpapers. You can also come down here and you can have a wallpaper directory, and you can change this to go to your directory if you've got a folder that you already have a bunch of wallpapers in. And then colorize, we've already looked at FS Search, Sci Radio, LX Task, BTOP, and then weather. Click on it, you get a little nice terminal area here. Kind of shows you what your daily forecast is going to be, and then it lets you know what tomorrow's going to be and what Monday's going to be. So, and then of course, if you do want to install it, it is the Calamares installer. I've had a lot of luck with Calamares. I do hear people every now and then that do have issues with it, but I never have. And that is pretty much a quick look at Mabox Linux. Please do me a favor before you leave today. Please like, subscribe, or follow my channel. The more likes I get keeps me in YouTube's algorithm, which means the information you just saw in this video, if it was helpful to you, it can be helpful to somebody else. And subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, and if you end up not liking me, you can always unsubscribe. If you like the channel and enjoy the videos that we are producing, we are on 3 separate platforms: YouTube, Utreon, and Odyssey. And you can become members on all 3. On YouTube, it's only 99 cents. On Utreon, it's $2.99. And on Odyssey, it's $4. You can also buy us a cup of coffee, maybe go over to PayPal and throw us a donation, or go to Patreon and become a patron to the channel. All those links will be in the description below. As always, thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next video.